been a while since I posted some video or information about herbs for dogs. If you follow my blog, you probably have seen a few videos and some tips on herbs for dogs in terms of using them as nutritional support or nutritional supplements, as well as some medicinal or using them for their medicinal properties. So we actually are now stepping into summer. It's the end of June, and because this year we have a really cold weather, dandelions started blooming just now, just this week. Normally they would be blooming in May, and of course for most parts of the world, or for most of you guys not living in northern areas, they are probably slowly getting over with their blooming period, or maybe you're still lucky to have some of these beautiful flowers. Otherwise, dandelions can be used not only their blooming, the blossoms, but in terms of using them as nutritional supplements for dogs, we mostly use the leaves. And in the fall time, we pick the roots, or dig out the roots, and dry them for winter use, for making special herbal teas. I personally like to use the root only as a tea for medicinal purpose. Otherwise I dry a whole bunch of leaves with the help of our dog handlers and kennel crew, because we have a lot of dogs, so it's a lot of dandelion leaves that need to be dried for the winter, and then we use those as a supplement. So yeah, you have guessed it right, we're going to be talking about dandelions in this edition of Herbs for Dogs. So as I said, I like to use dandelions on daily basis as a nutritional supplement. We use them, we put them directly into the dog's food. We don't make any infusions, we don't make it complicated, because it's not really necessary. So what we do is we pick the blossoms and the leaves, and we chop them or grind them in our meat grinder, which we use for grinding meat that we bring from the slaughterhouse. So, but you can just chop them with, knife or scissors. You can use the special scissors that have 4 blades that are specially made for herbs. With the blossoms, what we do, I don't know if I should get any closer. What we do is we just pull them, pull the leaves out and leave the most bitter part away, and that way all the leaves get separated. Or the petals, I'm sorry, they get separated, and you just mince them like this to get them apart from each other, and you just add them to your to the dog's dish or into the feed bucket, depending on how many dogs we're talking about feeding. And 1 blossom and 1 or 2 leaves, medium-sized leaves, are about a daily portion for a medium-sized dog. We're talking 20, 25 or 30 kilo dog, which would be about between 40 and 50 pounds, or 40 and 60 pounds. So this is what we do. So basically I follow the vegetation time when I'm feeding them. So whenever they're starting to bloom, I use the blossoms, and once the blossoms are over, we just focus on feeding only leaves. For the winter, we only dry the leaves. We don't dry the blossoms because they're a bit difficult to dry up. And anyway, the leaves contain most of the nutrients and the medicinal properties. So let's talk a little bit about what do dandelions actually contain. Why is it so good and beneficial to feed them on a daily basis? So when it comes to the nutritional value of dandelions, I really love them as a supplement because they contain almost the entire B complex of the B vitamins, and they're also quite rich in a number of minerals, such as, for example, calcium, potassium, or manganese. As you probably know, the B vitamins are very important especially during recovery times. So if your dog has been through surgery, or also if he's been or she's been on some drug treatments like antibiotic treatments, or had sustained any type of injury or illness, it's really good to support the dog nutritionally by using some of some of the natural supplements such as herbs, especially such as dandelion. So dandelion is not only providing vitamins and minerals, but it's a really useful herb for supporting the body, as I said, during recovery times, but also in terms of supporting the immune system. It supports a number of organs. For example, it supports and protects liver as well as kidneys. So that is why it's so useful during recovery times. Also, when you do any types of protocols such as vaccination or deworming, before and after those procedures, it's really a good idea to support organs, to support the immune system. Dandelion helps in that, but not only that, it actually helps with detoxification of the body. It helps to, it is actually a mild diuretic, so it helps to cleanse the kidneys without actually doing any damage to the organ. Some herbs can be very efficient in detoxification processes or in flushing out toxins, but they might have some harsh effects in longer term or in higher doses, and should be limited. But dandelion is a very safe herb without putting any extra stress on the organs. So if you also have any dog that might be suffering with mild or even severe liver damage or liver illness, dandelion is a great support, along with milk thistle, which is a wonderful herb that I'm going to talk about in some other edition or another part of this series. So yeah, I can't, as you see, almost not say enough good words about dandelion. It's truly one of my favorites, and the dogs really like to eat it. They have no problems with the taste, although if you try it, it's a little bit bitter. But they strive on it really well, they take it really well, they don't spit it out. And what's a really interesting thing too, or observation, is that unlike with a number of vegetables, dogs don't have problems with digesting herbs. So that doesn't count only for dandelion, but also for many other types of herbs. So if it's chopped nicely, they usually digest it really well. There's no problems with diarrhea or anything, so it's a really, really safe herb that I highly recommend you to add to your dog's daily diet. And as you see, I just took a walk with my dogs. I went down to the meadow and we'll pick a few plants for this evening's feeding, so they'll be all nice and fresh. And you can do exactly the same thing, spend time in the nature and pick up some nice plants. Just be careful not to pick dandelions or any herbs alongside busy roads or dusty areas, or in general areas where it's a lot of traffic and some where there could be smog or some toxicity or pollution or in the area. So yeah, just anywhere in the nature where it's clean, where there hasn't been used any chemical treatment of lawns, as people often do, using herbicides to kill weeds, which dandelion is of course considered as. So be careful about those, otherwise it's very safe and you can just pick it anywhere you want, and you have a nice, really beneficial supplement, which is totally for free. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be really looking forward to hearing any feedback from you. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate and stop by at my blog or contact me on my Facebook page. You can find me on Facebook if you put in or type in Katerina's journal, and my blog is Katerina's journal. You can find it, you can Google it, and I'll try to put the link below so you can just click in there. So see you some other time and have a great summer.